Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Being the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the first time, and welcome back, and thank you to everybody who's been watching me. I stated in 2019 that I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt. And I was doing a weekly video letting you know how my breakup was going. And in the beginning, it wasn't going so good, but it is so much better now because I'm on almost over 2 years of that. And then this year, my New Year's resolution was to break up with sugar. And today, it is an entire month that I've broken up with sugar, which is a miracle. And it's funny because last week I was talking to you guys. I wasn't going to bed. I'm not going to bed every night saying, I hate myself. And I said, I don't know why I got so comfortable doing that, but I did. And so it's been an entire month without sugar. And as I'm into my breakup with sugar, what I'm realizing is, you know, I didn't have a plan going into it, but as I'm going on, I'm getting more and more educated about this. And my great friend Danae told me about this book called Bright Line Eating. So it is this woman who's a PhD who also is in recovery, like me, 12-step program, and figured out a solution to food and an addiction with food. So I just finished that book and I'm so excited, but I have to eliminate flour on top of processed sugar. So I kind of felt like this past month, like I wasn't doing it right. I didn't have a full plan going in. And that's what I've worked on and have been working on. You know, last year during this pandemic, I don't know if you guys remember, some of you might not, but I found out I was going to be, you know, in lockdown in May. And I remember thinking, if I find out we're locked down in May, that's it. I'm ripping out my bushes out front. And even though I couldn't physically rip them out, I had my son do it. And I got caught because I have a homeowners association and I didn't ask permission because I just wanted those bushes out. And in the middle of pulling them out, because it was like a nightmare, and because I had no plan. I never did this before, but I just knew I didn't like the out front and it was driving me crazy. So I got busted in the middle of it. And they're like, stop, don't do anything else. It's not your job. You didn't ask permission. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God they saved me. And then I realized about myself when everybody's like, Michelle, what was your plan? What was your plan? And I'm like, I didn't have a plan. And I realized my entire life, I've never had a plan. I did shit like I did out front. Like I started something, and then when somebody said don't do anymore, I was like relieved, and I always wanted somebody else to clean up my mess. Like I had these great ideas, but I never got past the idea. And I didn't realize until that happened with the pandemic, that has been a typical behavior of my life, is I start things and then I don't know where to go from there. So what I realized about myself during this pandemic is I need to start planning, not just what happens when you rip out your bushes, but like for my life. Like I've always just kind of gone with the flow, and that's a great way for certain things, but not everything. But one of the things that I was usually attracted to, and who I was usually attracted to in romantic relationships, were people who they had a plan all right. And then I would criticize and condemn their plan, but I could never come up with one on my own. So what I've realized about myself is I need people who are great planners to help me come up with a plan. And it doesn't mean I shouldn't do stuff. It doesn't mean I shouldn't try, but I need to take responsibility for myself, which is something I wasn't able to do until I just turned 49. So until I was 48, I never realized I wasn't taking responsibility for my life. And so that is what's going on now. And with this shift in the universe, a lot of the planners are coming out and helping all of the non-planners like myself get a plan. And so I'm learning how to get a plan. And even with this no sugar thing, thank God for my friend Danae, because there's somebody else who came up with a plan. But years ago, I would try something, it wouldn't work out, and be like, screw it. And it doesn't mean I need to say screw it. It means I need to investigate more, do more homework, and do more research, and take control and responsibility for my life, which I'm now able to do. And what I have found out during all of this whole pandemic, I was talking that I'm in multiple 12-step programs, and I get to go to meetings every day on Zoom. And I am meeting people from all over the world. And it is a miracle. And it is saving my life right now. But what I have found out in this pandemic with all my people from all over the world is we are all the exact same. All of us. We might be in different places in our life, but we are all the same. And to point and criticize and condemn doesn't help anybody. To see what you can do to help others. If you have something that you're strong in, that is your gift and that is your skill. And after you realize that, you're meant to help other people with that. And I know for me, I never had a plan. I didn't know how to have a plan. I didn't even realize I didn't do that. I was just attracted to people who would tell me every worst case scenario that would happen, to the point that I didn't follow through. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, why even bother? So now what I realize, the people who give you every worst case scenario, that is your gift. And what I need to do is, when somebody tells me, when I run my idea past them and they give me every worst case scenario, I need to figure out, okay, if this does happen, what can I do? So I can't think of everything all the time by myself on my own, but I'm learning to take control and take charge of my life. But I wasn't able to do that before. And one of the reasons why I wasn't is because I wasn't emotionally well. I've had to go and do a lot of emotional healing before I was even able to take a look at myself to realize that I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how to have a plan. And now I'm learning how to get one. And as I'm learning how to get my plan, I'm supposed to show up to help everybody else get their plan. So I hope this makes sense to you guys. Whenever I do this talk, I have no plan. I know it is God speaking through me as I'm talking to all you, and the message that you get is what God wants me to deliver. So if I do a shitty job, it's all God's fault, by the way. Anyway, I am so happy and thankful to anybody who's been watching me and following me on this journey. Please stay tuned, stay safe, and I will see you all next week.